So, what's going on, fellas? So, in the midst of what's going on with the global pandemic and coronavirus, I figured instead of releasing a video today about, style and clothes and stuff like that, I figured I'd talk to you a little bit about protecting your family. So, there are a couple of things that you should do as a man to protect the people around you. The first thing that you should do is secure your ability to be able to survive in the midst of either a quarantine or disrupted supply chains. So what does that mean? That means going out and getting food, whether it be canned goods, rice, beans, things that can last for extended periods of time. We might need to return to a time where you go out and get flour, and then you could use YouTube University to create things like bread and pasta and things like that. So you want to go out and get. I know that the grocery stores. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, so my local Publix, my local grocery store is still open, but there are some parts of the country like Jersey and some parts of New York and all that stuff that are actually being quarantined. They're actually being locked down. I understand it's a soft quarantine. It's a strongly suggested quarantine, but they're being locked down. So you might not be in a position to be able to do this. I understand that you still can go out to mission critical places like grocery stores and things like that. But so secure food so that your family can survive. Now, that doesn't mean go out and panic buy, because it looks like, at least here in Atlanta, Georgia, I can only speak on what I can see. But here in Atlanta, Georgia, our grocery stores are still getting shipments, at least in the short term, in the short future. So go out and get, something that you can eat that day. If you don't have anything in the freezer, something that you can eat that day, and then maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days worth of food. And then maybe go back on the next shipment that might be coming in the next couple of days and go and get some more food and stock up. Canned goods are good. I understand that rice and beans, at least in our stores, are gone, but some of them are coming back. But get yourself some rice and beans. Get yourself some eggs, and if you can find it, bread and all that stuff on the shelves. But just stock up and help your family to be able to survive. The next thing you need to do is you need to secure your ability to survive from a security standpoint. So if you're partisan to guns, or if you're okay with having guns or firearms, that means that you need to go. And if you have a firearm, that means you need to go and make sure that you have rounds for that firearm. That also means that you also need to break your firearm down, make sure it's nice and well oiled and in working condition. If you're in a place where you can do a couple of test fires, do that, because what you don't want is for the moment of truth to come and you pull the trigger to try and defend yourself, try and defend your family, and there's a malfunction. It doesn't work. So you want to kind of make sure that you avoid that. You also want to make sure that everybody understands that you have a secondary and a fallback rally point for if something happens. So if something happens to where, let's say something like your building catches on fire, everybody in your household should know, well, let's meet up at the local Quick Trip, behind the local Quick Trip, and that's where we'll meet, just in case if you want to get in touch with somebody. Also, make sure that your buddies, your friends, also potentially know that plan, or you have a separate plan with them, so that in times of crisis, I understand that we're practicing social distancing, but if it's a true time of crisis, maybe you need to come together with some of your closest friends or family for just kind of that group protection, to protect not only you and your family, but also their family as well. The best thing that you can do also, if you absolutely have to work, if you're one of these essential personnel, grocery store workers, people who are providing mail, people who are doing those things, if you're an essential personnel right now that's still working, you want to make sure that when you come back into your home, the first thing that you do before you touch anything, strip down, go in there, take a shower, completely scrub everything around you, Wash your hands. It's not just enough to wash your hands. You also want to scrub down and make sure that you don't contaminate, you don't introduce contaminants into your home. And just practice, just be safe, stay home. I know it's boring. I know that there's no NBA, there's no Major League Baseball, there's none of that. It's all about, for me, I'm just binge watching the Andy Griffith Show, the Cosby Show, and all of that stuff. So stay home and be safe. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. And I'll see you guys next time.